Hey YouTube, so this is me playing the Stanley Parable. I have no idea what to expect, but the trailer for the game looked really interesting, and so I decided to pick it up in the last Steam sale, so this should be interesting because I have no idea what to do, what to expect, what the game's about. Let's begin the game. It's never... The end is never the end is never the end. Interesting. Okay, what is going on? Oh, okay, it is moving. I didn't think it would take this long to start the game up. Is this a trick? Oh, there it goes. Yay. Okay. Phew. It's kind of worried there for a second. I thought my computer crashed. Okay, still taking forever. Maybe I'll cut some of this out because holy crap. I don't have that much to say right now.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I like the narrator's voice.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
427.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although
really
others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made
got a pretty
exactly
big
for
office.
this job.
Holy.
Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, I guess I have to move. Whoa, this is weird. Huh, not really sure if I can do anything. Can I interact with stuff? Maybe I should have checked out the key bindings. Okay, just a sec. Huh. Okay then. I guess I just walk around. I don't want to go around. This is kind of scary. What's going on? Wow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't know. There's like paper everywhere. Did they just like take off or something?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Sorry, I don't follow instructions very well. Okay, I guess I'll go to the boardroom. I'm assuming this is the boardroom. Wait, what? Okay. There's more offices. How come Stanley's so special and he gets his own room? These people don't... Okay, what's going on? This is weird. Something's gonna jump out at me, I know it.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Do I want to go on the door on the left or the right? Let's go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
That's funny. Yep, that's what I wanted to do. I thought it was a trick. That's hilarious.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I wonder if I just stand here and he'll say something else. Be funny.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Okay,
really
okay.
worth it.
That's true.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, this time I'll listen.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
This is creepy. Okay, I want to go out of here. Okay. Oh, that's the way it would have came if I went the way he told me to go. Oh, this is a boardroom.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Meeting room. Kick Chris out of the broom closet. Push for funding for a new coffee machine. Who moved my desk? That's hilarious. Numbers of slides on this slide. Wait, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Read out which charts on the same slide depict the same information. That's funny. Please no more charts. Come on, where's the one that's firing? Okay, whatever, I don't feel like waiting. That's funny. Broom closet. Okay, so I'm going upstairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Holy gravy. It's on the top floor. Oh, nice office. The hell is this shit? Why would you have this big long highway? Executive bathroom. Wow. Look at this place. Oh, this is the reception area? Wow. What is he, like a friggin' king or something? Holy balls.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
This is a big office. 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
That's
Amazing.
hilarious.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh. Look at this friggin' office. Like, what the hell? It's friggin' huge. Oh, this is kind of scary. Do I want to go in? I don't want to go in here. That's really dark. That does not look interesting. I don't want to go in here. Okay, now what? Now what do I do? How do I go down? I can't even jump. It's just like Stanley. I randomly pressed buttons and it worked. That was weird. Loading, loading, loading. Not used to waiting for games to load like this. Yay, it's going faster.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh my god. Ah. I guess I can't go up now. I don't want to go down here. I'm scared. This is creepy.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the
Mind
large
control
door that
facility.
read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. Mind control facility or escape. Where's the fun in that? Let's go in here. I'll probably die. Holy jeez.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley
Hey,
thought
this
to
is
himself.
like-
Did he have the strength to
Can't
find
remember
out?
what it's called in X-Men. Oh, whoops, I wasn't listening. I was too busy talking. Wow, I wouldn't want to be the person's job that had to watch all that stuff. I can't read that. I don't like heights, so this is kind of freaky. I can't even see the bottom. What is going on? Wow, this is a crappy boss. Okay, fine, I'll push the obvious one.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true
Fired.
nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Where the hell did everyone go, though? It's creepy. I forget what Stanley's number 4 something. I like how that guy's fired. Well, that one's fired too. Okay, anyways. What does this mean?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Where am I going?
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Apparently, Stanley, you did.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. How am I going to do that, Stanley? Oops. My control status offline. What does this do? 3. Okay, then I don't want to turn it on. Or do I want to go down there? Whatever that does. Console disabled. Where's the 5? Oh, it's a puzzle. I'm not really sure what to do here. Let's see if I can find the other numbers. Oh, I don't even want to know what that is. Oh, there's 4. Okay, so let's start again. 1, 2. The hell did 3 go? 3. I don't even know if this is going to do anything. 5. I didn't expect anything to happen. Let's go in here. This isn't how I came in, is it? Uncontrolled idle, awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
How do I do that? I can't see anything. Oh no, what happened? This is how
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Yeah, I'm not
But
going
as sunlight
anywhere.
streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Stanley.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
No, I'm not gonna do that. Something will happen if I do. Oh, I guess I don't have a choice. Okay, well, it's not gonna be that easy, is it? Well, I don't want to leave my coworkers.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now,
I think
the
this is
things
tricky.
were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Is that how it's gonna end? Beat the game? Are you serious? Wow. I guess I'm gonna have to play it again. That's like the fastest beating the game I have ever had. Oh my god. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to... Okay, what is going on? I'm back in my room again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try the escape door this time.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
So
doors,
confused.
he entered the door on his left.
Okay, I'll listen this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave
Tips for
of
not getting
disbelief,
fired.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, we'll go upstairs to his office. Okay, his amazingly huge office. Ooh, I can't
Coming
go
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Now I gotta go down.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy,
This
why
is a
had he
neat game.
taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
That's funny.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose
Oh
his
my
job.
God, I am
He
going
wasn't
around in a
crazy after
circle.
all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley
God.
marveled that he had still not woken up.
This game is so
How
weird.
was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
Oh my god.
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he
Oh my
thought.
god.
And while he thought it all
Why is this
very
car
odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams. The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
I don't want to be going
Stanley
around in circles
is as awake
anymore.
right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his
God, I'm
skin,
gonna be in the
the
office
press
again.
of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
This game is so
Let me
weird.
wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
It's a pretty boring
Please,
job.
it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal.
I won't go down the
I
basement
am
again.
normal. Everything will be fine.
Going around in circles.
I am okay.
This is kind of like choose your own adventure. I'm still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
And then I'll wake up in the office.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What? Am I
Mariella
sleeping?
woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Okay.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
That's probably
Everyone
Stanley.
knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. Important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. So is Stanley crazy? Or what? This is weird. Oh my god, yep. Okay, obviously you have to choose the right way.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yes.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This game is weird.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. So we're gonna go up this time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
It's
office.
really bright. This friggin' office. It's huge. Man, this is like
Stepping
as big as
into
my
his manager's
house.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind
skipping
paintings,
text. That sounds so
desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried
I don't
below
remember
his
the
feet.
number.
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number,
Oh, sorry, I hit my mic with my hand.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by
Okay, I
sheer
don't know why
luck.
the game keeps
Amazing.
skipping.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, keep expecting it to open there. Ugh. Okay, let's go down. I'm gonna see what the hallway goes when it says escape. I guess. Okay, I think I might stop it here because it keeps skipping for some reason and I'm not sure. So yeah, that was the start of the Stanley Parable as like such a weird game. But I'm looking forward to figuring out what the hell is going on. If you, yeah, hopefully you guys will come watch me play Stanley Parable again in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye.